Hey, Randy, I know there's a lot of time left in the race, but you're starting to think, hey, Carmichael looks pretty strong.
Yeah, he's looking really good right now. It'd be nice to be a little bit closer right now. Just kind of watching for the halfway flag to come out. Jeremy's riding a good race. He's running the same pace. He hasn't fluctuated any in his lap times. So I know he's riding comfortable. Now we'll just see what happens.
Well, now what's happened is these guys are catching up to lapped riders just ahead of Jeremy. You see Carmichael having to work his way through a pack of a couple guys. He's got another one coming up. Jeremy can see all that, and the advantage for Jeremy now is these lap riders know the leaders are coming, so they're going to start looking for everyone else. That'll help Jeremy a little bit, possibly close the gap.
Jeremy to the inside, has to slow down, getting into that deep rut. Look how deep that rut has gotten. Now as Ricky Carmichael still has about a 3 or 2.5 second lead.
And that time it closed back up slightly, and I think that has to do something, probably a little bit to do with those lapped riders they encountered, and that's going to happen from here on out. And the shadows that started this race, they're going to get a little bit, they're going to change slightly and cover different berms and ruts. Look at the way Carmichael followed. He just on the first lap, he found the most perfect line. Everyone followed suit, just weaved his way through all those holes, and he's got a smooth racetrack down one of the roughest straightaways.
Almost the halfway point here in this traditional great race at Daytona. Carmichael's best this year was a second in Houston. In fact, that's the highest finish of his career in 250s. He was second for the entire 20 laps.
You know what? Even if he gets past here and gets second, you still got to look at it as improvement. He's getting that much closer, and it won't be long.
David Villeman holding on to third, as the lappers, very much aware, as you mentioned, David, are looking back at even the third place rider to let him through.
Well, you know, we were talking about Mike Bell winning 7 of those 12 races that Yamaha strung together. He lapped me in about probably 5 of those. And it's the weirdest feeling when you're a lapper. You know that they're coming, and sometimes you try to get out of their way and you actually make it worse. You know? Jeremy
McGrath has told us about number 934 and his great attitude toward racing and life. Let's go down right now to Davey Combs, who's David Villeman's mechanic.
Hey, Craig, what do you think so far? Halfway down, David's first visit to Daytona, 3rd place.
Yeah, 3rd is actually pretty good, you know. It's a lot different track than we've been riding, so, you know, it's what I expect, or better than what I expected.
He had contact with Jeremy there for a while, but it looked like he made a mistake or something. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, with this track, lines can change quite a bit, so, you know, when he's maybe staying close to Jeremy, he saw the lines, and then, you know, lines always change, so.
He may have messed up on one?
Yeah, he might have messed up on a couple.
Well, he did, because I had my eye on him, and he did. He made a couple of mistakes down at the west end, and that timing whooped out double section. Not even sure what to call it, but he messed up his timing and just lost about 2 seconds right there and couldn't make it back up.
Ricky Carmichael continues to hold a 3-second lead as he weeds through the lappers here at Daytona. We'll be back with more Daytona Bike Week 2000 action in a moment. Carmichael McGrath still 1 and 2. And Kevin Windham holding down 5th place.
You see how he was just cruising around that corner? It looked like he wasn't really trying very hard. Well, that was because he was just trying to find that very inside line. Before the main event, they pulled some of the hay bales back just to give these guys a couple extra feet of racetrack. So he was just tinkering around the inside there. It's actually a faster line. Doesn't look it, but it works better.
A 5th place was equal his second best finish of the year, a 5th place in Pontiac. He started the year out, though, with a 3rd place, and then got 2 third place finishes in the first 3 races. Here comes Mike LaRocco. Is this amazing or what? LaRocco, who was dead last in the first lap, all of a sudden has come back to challenge Kevin Windham.
And I don't think that surprises Mike much. I mean, this is business as usual, but for Kevin, how does that make you feel? Jeez, I know he was sick this week and he's not riding 100%, but still, you got to look at. He doesn't realize that LaRocco went down. He just figures he got a fairly bad start as usual. Wait till he finds out LaRocco was last.
And with Mike LaRocco's mechanic, Paul Delorier, let's go down to Davey.
Well, Paul, the main event started pretty bad, but you got to admit, Mike is riding his butt off. He's back up to 5th place, closing in on Sebastian Tortelli in 4th.
He's riding really good, but we got jacked again. We made it around the first 2 turns in like 2nd place, and then Huffman ran into us, so we're stuck at dead last.
What's it going to feel like when you guys finally win one of these things?
Relief, maybe? I don't know. It better be good, and soon.
Well, there was a lot of relief in regaining prominence on the Nationals last year, winning for the first time in quite a spell. He has not won a Supercross since Pontiac in 1995, but he certainly has been consistent as we shift back to our leader, Ricky Carmichael. And let's check out Ricky's times and see how they compare with things. Ricky, who's held a good advantage on Jeremy McGrath the entire way. McGrath has just not been able to give up any pressure to Ricky Carmichael.
He's actually pulled it out to, looks like a little bit more than 10 seconds now, Art. This is just unbelievable. Ricky has been solid. He's been fast enough. He's worked his way through the lappers. He got the whole shot when he needed. I could see the focus he had after Anaheim the first round. We knew he was a little bit out of shape there, that he really wanted to be in shape by this race. He and Johnny O'Mara talked it over. He has done everything he's needed to do to maximize his potential for this event, and it's showing right now. Here's our Honda stopwatch on Ricky Carmichael as the watch was started as he went over the finish line jump. We'll see what kind of lap time he has and maybe get a peek at how far behind Jeremy McGrath is officially. Laps McCormick right there, and even though it was a slight bobble, it didn't really turn into much lost time. Crowd stomping their feet as he goes past the front straightaway. A Floridian leading the Daytona Supercross. And a Floridian has never won the Daytona Supercross. And he just lapped Kevin Windham. Amazing. He just moved past. Well, he moved into the top 5. That's what's so unique about this race. I mean, this track is so much different than what we normally see. To see anybody lap up inside the top 10 in a regular Supercross it's a pretty big story. Here, to lap Kevin Windham and have a chance to maybe lap up to 5th or 4th here is just incredible, especially with as long as the lap times. Yeah, 126 to 130 lap times. It is an incredible performance, no matter what happens to Ricky Carmichael as he weeds his way through 2 more lappers. Kevin's really struggling, I think, right now. I don't think he has the fitness, and he probably wasn't able to go through his regular routine this week. 131.7 after a strenuous day of qualifying. You know, I think that's just maintenance right there. I think he's capable of probably 129, or doesn't have to do it though. He can look over his shoulder, get the signal from Chad, and know that that gap is growing on McGrath. So here he's just got to be smart. According to our calculations too, there's 5 laps remaining here in the Daytona Supercross. That's a long time. It's going to be the longest 5 laps he's ever ridden. Jeremy McGrath, who was looking for his 5th consecutive win of the season, passes his teammate Tim Ferry, number 15, and he's still looking smooth. He just can't pick it up a notch. Well, I think Jeremy made a few mistakes. He got a little bit uncomfortable at the same time, and with lapped riders, at the same time that Carmichael clicked off a couple of really fast laps. And that gap has stayed the same ever since. Here's a guy in the last 8 races, won 6 of them, leading 119 of 160 laps during that period of time. That's incredible, and yet he has not led a lap yet here today. Well, he just came off leading 80 in a row, so I guess we'll let him slide today. Go out, can Jeremy take advantage of maybe a possible mistake by Ricky Carmichael. Carmichael has not made very many so far in our 250 main event as Carmichael leads it. McGrath, Villeman, Tortelli, and Larocco the top 5. We'll return in a moment.